in that although we do this every year, it is our organizational meeting, and tonight we pick new board or same board, or we pick people to be the board chair, the vice chair, and so on. So I have a special agenda. Okay, Richmond Board of Education acknowledge and thanks the First Peoples of the Hunkaminam Language Group on whose traditional and unceded territories we teach, learn, and live. Okay, so the adoption of agenda, trustees, you've all been said the organizational agenda. And I'm looking for a mover and a seconder. Moved by trustee Larson, seconded by trustee Yang. All in favor? Okay. Item 2, the year in review. So I'm going to start off with the year in review. And but what I am going to do, and so staff's aware of this, is I'm not going to read the whole report right now. I'm going to read a segment of it, and then we're going to move into our appointment of returning officer scrutineer. We're going to move into the election. And during the election, while votes are being counted, then I'll continue on reading my year in review. So kind of let's make it a little more efficient use of our time. Year in review. The 2024-2025 school year was an active and productive time for the Richmond School District. Here are some of the summaries of this year's key highlights and updates. Enrollment. Richmond School District reported approximately 23,300 full-time students in the 2024-2025 year based on the BC Ministry of Education's official September 30 count. For 2025 and 2026, current enrollment stands at about 2,300, reflecting a modest decline of roughly 300 learners. This decrease is not attributed to a single factor, but rather to a complex mix of demographics, economics, and system capacity. Families are weighing affordability and perceived level of support when making schooling decisions, while the district continues to face rising costs and constrained resources. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And then we're going to move into the election. Oh. All right. I'm just reading off my script here. I call this annual organization meeting of the Board of Education of School District number 38 to order. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the organizational meeting. I'll say it again. Richmond Board of Education acknowledge and thanks the First People of the Hunkaminam Language Group on whose traditional and unceded territories we teach, learn, and live. Okay, first item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda, which we've done. Year in review, just started a bit of it. Item 3, we're going to move on to the appointment of returning officer and scrutineer. All right. Okay, Chris, this is you, right?
Yes, thank you very much. Item 3 on the agenda, since the chair has vacated the seat at this time, is the appointment of returning officer and scrutineer. I will call for a motion to appoint Secretary Treasurer Wang as returning officer and Assistant Superintendent Lang as scrutineer for the election of the board chairperson, board vice chairperson, BCSTA Provincial Council representative, and BCPC provincial representative. May I have a mover and a seconder, please? Mover, trustee Yang, and seconder. Oh, trustee Tablotny. Okay. Are there any discussions? Seeing none, and I'll call the question. All those in favor? It's unanimous, none opposed. The motion is carried. The next item on the agenda is the election of the board chairperson. Would the Secretary Treasurer please distribute the nomination ballots for the position of board chairperson, please?
Okay, so while the votes are going to be counted, I'm going to move on. Seismic remediation program. The Richmond School District has made significant progress in its seismic remediation program. Of the 35 schools identified as needing upgrades, 14 have completed seismic improvement, ranging from partial replacements to full upgrade. Currently, 3 schools are under construction. Howard DeBeck Elementary is undergoing a full seismic upgrade scheduled for completion in the winter of 2026. Alfred B. Dixon Elementary upgrade expected by May 2025. The largest project is John Diefenbaker Elementary, a 50 million full replacement projected to finish by August of 2028. Looking ahead, the district's 5-year capital plan identifies the next schools in no particular order, prioritized for upgrades. They include secondary schools, McNair, McRoberts, Palmer, along with elementary schools, Blundell, Westwind, Quilchena, and McNeely. Additional work is also planned for Steveston London Secondary. The Ministry of Education has confirmed that all schools currently open are safe for students and staff. The district continues to balance risk, enrollment, and funding to ensure every school community benefits from modern, seismically safe, and secure facilities. Results? Okay, childcare. 2024, the Richmond expanded childcare capacity with 220 new licensed spaces, supported by $8.2 million in provincial and federal funding. The district now operates 7 purpose-built childcare centers at Thompson, Maple Lane, Manoa Steves, Whiteside, McKinney, Bridge, and the Mitchell Adult Education Center. These centers provide families with accessible, high-quality childcare integrated into school communities. To meet the growing demand, 2 additional centers have been built, Spucklux Elementary on Blanchard Drive and Garden City on Garden City Road. Together, these initiatives demonstrate a strong commitment to supporting families by expanding affordable childcare options across Richmond.
Thank you.
We have results?
Yeah. Would the Secretary Treasurer please read the results of the nomination for the position of Board Chairperson?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. There are 2 nominees for the Board Chairperson position, Trustee Hamaguchi and Trustee Baliza. Trustee Hamaguchi, do you accept the nomination?
Yeah.
Thank you. Trustee Baliza, do you accept the nomination? Thank you for that.
Yielding to Ken.
Thank you. Therefore, Trustee Hamaguchi is elected as the Board Chairperson by acclamation. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Trustee Hamaguchi, Board Chair.
Okay. Just following my script here. Thank you for placing your trust in me as a new board chairperson. I'm truly honored and excited to take on this responsibility. I look forward to working closely with each of you and our educational partners to serve our community and advance the board's vision, mission, and values. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the election of the vice chairperson. Next up on the agenda is, vice chairperson. Would the Secretary Treasurer please distribute the nomination ballots for the position of vice chairperson? Okay, I'm going to keep. Okay. We do childcare. Okay, next topic is AED and naloxone. Between 2024 and 2026, the Richmond School District implemented a proactive rollout of automated external defibrillators and naloxone kits to strengthen emergency preparedness. Approved by the board on June 19th, 2024, the initiative installed 116 AEDs and 113 naloxone kits across schools and district sites. Elementary schools received 1 AED and 1 to 2 kits. Secondary schools, 3 of each, and the district office, 1 to 2 units. Devices are stored securely and accessible only to trained staff. The $192,700 project was funded from surplus operating budgets. This rollout aligns with provincial mandates requiring all BC schools to be equipped by December 2025. That's for secondary schools, and for elementary schools, September 2026. Richmond completed installation ahead of schedule, ensuring compliance and community confidence. Move on to the long-range facility plan. The Richmond School District's long-range facility plan is a board-approved framework that sets a 10 to 15-year roadmap for managing schools. First adopted in 2019 and updated in 2021, the March 2025 revision reflects new priorities and community input. The plan guides capital project requests to the Ministry of Education, catchment adjustments, and long-term planning for enrollment, demographics, and facility conditions. Key updates include expanded early learning programs such as Strong Start Centers, kindergarten readiness, and pre-K offering. Enrollment projections have been revised to account for housing growth and demographic shifts, while catchment analysis has been refined to balance school use and reduce overcrowding. Facilities planning emphasizes seismic upgrades, modernization, and portable classroom reviews. Where's no one here yet? Strategic plan. The Richmond School District is developing its 2025-2030 strategic plan, a 5-year roadmap to guide priorities in student success, equity, facilities, workforce, and community collaboration. Created every cycle in alignment with district policy, the plan serves as a framework for decision-making, resource allocation, and long-term planning. Extensive public engagement throughout the 2025 ensures that students, families, staff, and parents all contribute to shaping the district's direction. The process launched January 27th, 2025, with surveys, open house, and virtual meetings continued through June. Final plan will be presented to the Board of Education in December 2025. The plan identifies 4 core priorities: success for all learners, diversity, equity, inclusion, organizational effectiveness, and community and partnership. These priorities emphasize inclusive learning opportunities, strong and efficient systems, attracting and supporting staff, and building a meaningful connection with families and community partners. Together, they provide a clear community-driven framework for our district's future. Okay, we got some results.
Yes, Chairperson. So there are 3 nominees for the board vice chair position. Trustee Larson, Trustee Yang, and Trustee Wang. So Trustee Larson, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Thank you. Trustee Yang, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Thank you. And Trustee Wang, do you accept the nomination? Okay, thank you. So we're going to proceed to election. We will be printing the election ballots now.
Okay. Okay, let's continue on with the year in review. New school purchase. In June 2025, the Richmond School District purchased the former Pythagoras Academy site on the 8671 Auckland Crescent for $60 million to create a new K-7 public elementary school. The 6.25-acre property built in 2015 offers a modern facility that could be converted more quickly than constructing a new school. Funding came from $6 million provided by the BC provincial government and $54 million from the district capital reserves, with $41 million coming from the 2013 sale of Stevenson Secondary. The school is scheduled to open in September 2026 to release significant enrollment pressures in Richmond City Centre. Over the past 4 years, enrollment in the area has grown by 42%, adding more than 600 students to 4 schools already serving over 2,000 kids, well above their 1,641 student design capacity. Centrally located and with scarce land options in city center, this site represents a rare opportunity to expand public education efficiently and strategically. Board advocacy. Trustees were very active this year advocating for the district. December 6th, we sent a letter to the mayor and council asking to expand school site acquisition charges to include small multiple unit housing projects. Again, on December 6th, we sent a letter to our local MLAs requesting capital funding for 2 new city center schools, more funding for our seismic mitigation project, and helping us with our recruitment and retention of staff. January 16th and the 22nd, we met with our MLAs to share our concerns and requests. March 3rd, Trustee Hamaguchi, Trustee Yang, and Secretary Treasurer Wang traveled to Victoria to meet with the Minister of Infrastructure, Bowen Ma, to ask for funding for 2 city center schools. April 10th, we sent a letter to the BC School Trustee Association asking for their support and asking the Ministry of Municipal Affairs to review the school site acquisition charge. May 14th, we sent a letter to the federal minister, Lena Mati Diab, requesting that the federal government reinstate the language instruction for newcomers to Canada program. And then on September 22nd, we had a Zoom meeting with Education Minister Lisa Baird to update her with what's going on in our district. We don't have anything. Okay, in closing, as you can see, it was a very busy year and we achieved a great deal. I want to sincerely thank our superintendent and staff for their hard work, support, and leadership. And to my fellow trustees, I'm grateful for your hard work, commitment, and for ensuring that our guiding principle remains, our focus is on the learner. Okay, now you can play solitaire on your phones, I guess.
I'd like to report to the chair. According to the board policy, policy 201 bylaw 1.3, the person receives a clear majority will be elected a board chairperson or vice chairperson. So far, there has been no clear majority, and the board policy says if no person receives a clear majority, further ballots will be taken until a majority is achieved. So therefore, we'll have to distribute another election ballot for another round of election.
Does the low person with the least amount of votes get taken off or?
No, it doesn't say that. It just says until you achieves the clear majority. So therefore, we have to take another vote.
What's the clear majority?
At BCSD, it does, but not here. You don't.
Clear majority is over 50%, which means
Yeah.
4 out of 7.
Hmm. Donna, at ECSD, they knock off the last person, right? Yeah.
We don't have that in our policy.
Oh, my God.
So you can, if it comes out the same, what you can do is say, is anyone prepared to take their name in? Because at some point you have to have a resolution. But
Yeesh,
this will
yeesh.
come up the same, so,
Yeah. But this would be a good one. This would be a good policy change.
yeah, I would think so. We haven't really,
Otherwise, everyone sticks to their guns. We're here all night long.
we have had it where, and then we would say.
I know people,
People say, is there anyone prepared to take their name on? But again, maybe no one is.
yeah,
I think it's pretty
who
rare
would do that though? Like, if you're,
for the good of the evening, maybe, I don't know.
yeah.
Okay, Chairperson, I have to report. So this last round of vote, we still haven't achieved a clear majority. So we'll have to do another round of vote according to the board policy.
Are we allowed to ask
No, it's,
or not?
We take a 5-minute communication.
Right?
We take a 5-minute communication
To do what?
to talk about next steps.
I don't think we've ever had this problem before, so we must have had some other solution.
No, just a 5-minute communication
Yeah.
break, that's all. Because we're on
Well,
camera right now.
Let's,
Mm-hmm.
Take a break.
the policy doesn't.
No, I just mean to talk. Whatever.
Proceeds.
yeah, this is a perk.
It saves.
Yeah, they're-
You could be here on it.
You ever had? Well, we do.
You
that.
might want to take this up at Paula's. I mean, it's pretty rare, but what are you doing
Good.
this?
Also go the lowest person.
You have to click on it. And you probably don't click the key. That's it.
Right, yeah. No.
Yeah, it's an AGM tomorrow. At 7 this morning, so I was trying to, getting messages about that one. Can we do that? Oh, yeah, it's rechargeable, yeah.
Uh-oh. I thought it was me. Baby, you send me. What? You have a winner?
Yes. Okay, Chairperson, so I'd like to report the trustee who received the majority of the votes, a clear majority of the votes is trustee Larson. So I hereby declare trustee Larson as the elected vice chairperson.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is the election of the BCSCA Provincial Council Rep and Alternative Representative. Now, I will call for a show of interest for the position of BCSTA Rep to the Provincial Council. If we get more than one person, then we will do an election, but so folks, trustees looking for interest in the BCSTA representative to Provincial Council. Anyone interested? BCSDA representative to the Provincial Council. BCSDA rep. Alice, you got your hand up? If there's no one else, so Alice, congratulations, you are the BCSTA rep. And as for an alternative alternate, thank you, Donna Sargent, alternate. Okay, I'll now call show of interest for the, oh, I did that. Okay, election of BCPC provincial representative. Next on the agenda is the election of the BCPC rep and alternative representative. I will call for a show of interest for the position of the BCPC rep. So if you're interested, put your hand up, BCPC rep 1. Going twice, going, okay, so Debbie is the BCPC rep. Trustee Tablatny. Do we have any volunteers to be the alternate? We don't have anyone today. We can nominate. Oh, okay, Trustee Wong, thank you very much. Trustee Wong is the BCPC alternate representative. Okay, we've done all those, and there's no more election. So, item 7, destruction of ballots. Next on the agenda is the destruction of ballots. I will read the motion that the ballots of the offices of the chairperson of the board, vice chairperson of the board, BCSTA provincial rep, and BCPC rep be destroyed. Can I get a motion, a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by trustee Yang, seconded by trustee Sargent. Any discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Thank you. Motion is carried. Item 8, committee appointments. Chair, next on the agenda is committee appointments according to policy 201 bylaw. Please notify myself which committee you are interested in serving before November 30th, 2025. The appointments will be announced in December 2025, and the committee members will assume the roles of the duties for 1 year. And last almost, no. Number 9, item 9, authorized signatories. Next on the agenda is the authorized signatories. According to policy 201 bylaw, the board will authorize the signing authorities as set out in policy 612 and 612R for the ensuing year at its organizational meeting. We have a recommendation before the board that the Board of Education of School District 38 approve the following signing authorities effective immediately and until they are so changed. Shall be the board chairperson and secretary treasurer, except for the issuance of checks when the required signature shall be any of board chair, board vice chairperson, superintendent, and any one of secretary treasurer, assistant secretary treasurer, and manager financial services. Such signatures may be affixed by hand or by check writing facsimile machine in accordance with the established board policy. Can I get a mover and second, please? Moves is trustee Tablani, seconded by trustee Larson. Are there any discussions? I now call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Finally, item number 10, adjournment. With no further business, can I get a mover and seconder for the adjournment of this organizational meeting? Trustee Yang and trustee Sargent, thank you. Are there any discussions? I now call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the annual organization meeting is adjourned. Okay. You guys want to take like a 5-minute break or keep going? What do you think?
Whatever.
Let's keep rolling. All right. Gotta get my. Okay, moving on to our public meeting agenda. Richmond Board of Education acknowledge and thanks the First People of the Hunkaminam Language Group on whose traditional and unceded territories we teach, learn, and live. We have we have one announcement, I believe.
Leadership and Management Staff Recognition Day. As we reflect on the past year, we are reminded of countless moments where our school and district leaders have made a difference.
Thank you, everyone.
December 5th is dedicated to celebrating the outstanding contributions of our leadership and management staff. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each of you for your unwavering commitment to our school district and the well-being of our students. Each day, you navigate our educational system with resilience and vision. Your leadership continues to shape the future of our schools and positively impact the lives of students, employees, and families across our community. The positive and inclusive environment you foster is a testament to your dedication. Thank you for your tireless efforts, innovative thinking, and the countless hours you invest to make our district a better place. Your leadership remains the cornerstone of our collective success, and we are truly fortunate to have such a talented and passionate team guiding us forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Secretary Treasurer, any materials not included in the package available to the public?
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. All materials are available to the public on the website.
Okay, thank you. We have our agenda. Unless there's any errors or additions, can I get a mover and seconder? Moved by trustee Sargent, seconded by trustee Wong. All in favor? Thank you. We have no presentations at this time, no briefs, and no special recognition. Questions from the public. This is our first one of the night. Is there anyone interested? Number 2? Okay, thanks, Liz. Yeah, you're welcome to come up. State your name and.
Thanks, everybody. I'm Dean Billings. I'm here for the RDPA today. Connie's away. So my question is, thanks for the opportunity to speak. My question is on the digital literacy for an AI-enabled world. So the curriculum on AI, I appreciate that the district is looking into this and taking AI seriously and, developing coursework that reflects the world that students are walking into, the first pages of the description make perfect sense. I was a little surprised by the last page, specifically the reference to spirits. I understand this comes from the Indigenous principles of learning, but its repetition here seems interesting. So I'm trying to understand if it's just sort of like optics kind of thing, or if there's like a subtle impact of including it in that description that I don't quite understand. So, you know, this reminds me of the earlier DEI workshop or the advisory group that I attended, and there was discussion about introducing a new policy that had sort of like a white glove treatment for submitting complaints for people, I guess, Indigenous complaints versus everyone else. And during that presentation, there wasn't a real clear and present rationale for that. So I didn't quite understand why that was brought in. Just looking at the data, I mean, like there on student success anyways, I mean, there's lots of groups that might need special attention more than others. So I was surprised to see it. If you have one course description, one of the pages out of 3 pages or something is devoted to that topic. So I'm similarly surprised that the AI curriculum calls out AI bias, but only in relation to Indigenous students or Indigenous spiritual concepts or even religious concepts at all. So is the plan to be somehow more respectful of some religions than others? Could you please explain to me why it's required or necessary to include reference to spirits in a course description? Thank you.
Through the chair, first of all, thank you very much for your comments. As is often the case when we get these questions in the boardroom, we certainly take that into consideration and follow up as appropriate. So you've identified that, and I'm sure the assistant superintendent will reach out to you directly to our conversation around that, what you've brought forward. But I would just mention, just as a general observation, that certainly the district's commitment around equity and inclusion is for all groups and all learners. Our commitment to Indigenous education, as you know, it's grounded in our relationship with First Peoples, and that's also reflected in the commitment of the province in terms of our Ministry of Education. When we talk about Indigenous student success, that's a special recognition of the fact that as a district, we must be in tune with our commitment to our First Nations peoples. And the board meetings, as every other meeting in the district, as you know, we acknowledge the land where we gather, and that's a commitment that the board and certainly a commitment that the province has made in recognition of the First Peoples who've lived on this land time immemorial.
Thank you.
So staff will follow up as appropriate. So thank you very much, Mr. Balins.
All right. I'll see any more questions from the public? We do have another opportunity later on in the evening. Executive report.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. It's always a welcome opportunity to share some reflections at the public board meetings in terms of the good work and the excellence across our district. We continue to celebrate moments of excellence. Each month on our public website, we showcase vibrant learning communities that promote student engagement, creativity, and well-being in inclusive environments in our districts. I would encourage you to visit our website and read these stories, read about the stories, and to learn about the incredible work that happens in every single location in our schools and classrooms across the district. I just want to take this moment to certainly thank our communications team under the leadership of Director Sadler and staff in general for capturing these inspiring stories and photos. I just thought I'd highlight that if you've not seen the October around the district, please click on it, and I think you'll find some of the wonderful reflections that are captured there. Overall, of course, always proud of the work that staff do each day to serve our diverse learners. This work requires intentional actions and dedication from teachers, support staff, school administrators, and staff, quite frankly, that work in central departments and across this district. It's difficult work. It's not easy always, but I certainly appreciate their commitment to student learning and well-being, and I know that the board certainly makes that makes that a key acknowledgement each time we talk about the good work that is happening in our district. Today is a prime example of that extension. I'd like to share an example of some good things happening, other exciting things happening in our district. So today I had the opportunity at City Hall with the mayor, city councilors, Trustee Hamaguchi, our board chair, and Trustee Wong, to welcome 29 visiting students from Wakayama, Japan. This is our sister city school initiative. This year's visit is especially significant. It marks our first sister city exchange since 2019. And of course, we know what happened in 2020 with COVID. So what a wonderful opportunity to welcome these youngsters to our district. They were vibrant and exciting. Very much looking forward to their visit. This year's visit, this week, the students will take part in a wide range of activities in a number of our secondary schools at Burnett Secondary, Palmer, and Richmond Secondary. They will also be visiting the Richmond Olympic Oval and exploring the historic Japanese Canadian sites in Steveston Village. Exchanges like this help us build cultural understanding, global awareness, and personal and confidence. And of course, reflected in our strategic plan, both our current plan and moving forward. We know that we do more than teach students how to read and write, but we want them to be global citizens and to be passionate about the society in which they live. We certainly know that this opportunity with the exchange allows our students and their counterparts from Japan to learn about each other's traditions, daily life, and perspectives. Most importantly, they create friendships and memories that last a lifetime. I wanted to highlight that because I think this is an example of a wonderful partnership that this district, the Board of Education, and certainly the City of Richmond, working in concert to support this wonderful partnership for our district, and it's something that we ought to be proud of. So thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right. We're moving on to item 6, approval of minutes from prior meetings. There's a record of an in-camera meeting of the board held Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. We also had a regular meeting of the board held Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025 for approval. The minutes are in your package unless there's any errors or omissions. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Trustee Larson, seconded by Trustee Tablotny. All in favor? Did you want to?
A question on the one is a regular meeting on the board held on Wednesday. So you now is it just a approval for both or approval?
Just for one, just the public one.
Public one?
Yes.
So in camera one, right? Record in camera.
No, we're voting on the public one.
It's the public one. So I would like to let you know that I have an email to revise one of the sentence on the page 12. So
Okay, you saw that?
We got it.
Okay, so with that in mind, all in favor? Great. Okay, business arising from prime minutes, there is none. New business, we have a recommendation regarding the revision to the date for approval of the new city center school catchment. We have a report from our secretary treasurer attached. Would you like to take it from here?
Sure. Thank you, Chairperson. My report provides a recommendation that the Board of Education revise the date to approve the new city center school catchment boundaries from November 19th to January 21st, 2026. This additional timeline will allow for a more detailed analysis of the engagement results, assessment of any potential implications on school operations, including projected enrollments, supported need for students and families. I also like to assure that the revised timeline does not have any negative impact on central registration, staffing, or budget timelines. So I welcome any questions from trustees.
So we're going to take questions starting by Trustee Tablotny's end and questions, and then we'll later on go back and ask for opinions or explanation as to supporting the recommendation or not. So Trustee Tablotny, any questions? Trustee Wong, any questions?
Actually, I don't have, but really like that really agree that we have more time to get the.
Okay, we're gonna do the comments after that, so you can do the next go around, and then you can talk for 5 minutes about all your, all right, trustee Larson, any questions?
Questions, thank you.
Trustee Yang, any questions? Trustee Sergeant, questions? Trustee
No.
Lisa, any questions? Okay, so I'm going to read the recommendation, but I'm going to come back to everyone again, that the Board of Education revise the date for approval of the new city schools, city center school catchment boundaries from November 19th to January 21st. Trustee Damani, any comments you want to make?
No, I think this is a reasonable timeline.
Trustee Wong, you have some comments to make?
Is really agree that get more time for the staff necessary to, just like implement or everything, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Trustee Larson?
I also I fully agree. The fact that you're looking to be fully informed, it's early advice already about change to all concerned. And the most important is that we we will be prepared with the information that this timeline will allow. So fully.
Trustee Yang, any comments? Trustee Sergeant? Trustee Beliza?
I fully agree, Mr. Chairman, with the recommendations and conclusions.
Okay, thank you. That being said, going to call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, recommendation is carried.
Nobody,
No,
no mover, no seconder.
we can move, oh, turn the clock back. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder for the, thank you, Trustee Sergeant, and the seconder, Trustee Larson. All right. All in favor? All right. Item B, notice of motion, regarding the establishment of a district student council. Trustee Beliza, I believe you have a notice of motion, so we got
Yeah,
letting us
thank you,
know in
Mr.
advance.
Chairman. Here's my motion subject to review by staff. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, School District Number 38, Richmond, approve the establishment of the District Student Council to enhance student voice, leadership, and engagement at the district level. Be it further resolved that each secondary school elect 1 or 2 student representative to serve on the DEC, and grade 12 is recommended. A district staff liaison and trustee representative be appointed to support the DEC, and DEC meet regularly and report to the board through annual presentations of written report, and the DEC will be launched at 2026-27 school year with planning and coordination beginning 2026. Thank you.
Right, so it has been recorded. We probably will, will not be here next month, so we will do this for the January meeting.
Yes, the rationale and this term of reference will do that, Mr.
Okay, and that gives time for staff to prepare if they have any questions they want to ask you as well.
Thank you.
Item 9 is questions from the public. This.
Good evening. Liz Baberstock, President, Richmond Teachers Association, and thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. My question actually is in relationship to the review, which I know will go likely into the partner review process, public review process, policy 501R and 501G. But I do want to just ask a couple of questions. And then, of course, I will be responding in writing. I've been in a writing mood lately, and it's not AI generated. It's Liz generated. But my questions in relationship to this is when I read this, this is very specific to the fact that we've got a new school. But I was really wondering, is the board actually considering a wider review of this policy, the regulations and guidelines, to ensure that you can best manage when boundaries are changed? The current wording and the current proposed change wouldn't do this. And we all know that when boundaries are changed, it's usually because you are trying to address space challenges, enrollment challenges, and opportunities for students. And if you don't have wording that would be similar to having a new school, these changes can take up to 7 years to actually move through. By the time you're talking about a kindergarten student going to grade 7, 5 years if you're talking about a student starting in grade 8, they may not have the opportunity to move to a different school because, of course, families can make different decisions. So I think this is actually a good time to consider that as a wider review. The other part, as I was reviewing it, is looking at the regulation, and in particular, Regulation 1.2.3 on residency. And that talks about who is ordinarily resident. And when I went and did a little bit of research online and I looked at the BC Ministry of Education Childcare's policy for funding and eligibility of students, I noticed that this was actually updated September 5th, 2023, and this policy references May 2013 in terms of funding, the funding policy. So I think it should be updated. And the reason why I bring this forward is actually in alignment with BCSTA and the supportive principle of sanctuary schools. And I think that this provides an opportunity to ensure that you consider residency, ordinarily resident, to ensure that students with precarious or no immigration status and are ordinarily resident are welcomed and safe in our schools. So I put that forward as to kind of questions of consideration. And of course, if this goes into the review process, I will be responding in kind. Thanks.
All right, just looking, any more questions? Not seeing any. Our standing committee reports. Audit Committee Chairperson Yang, anything?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, Education Committee Chairperson Larson.
We have a recommendation, and that is that the Board of Education approve the newly developed Board Authority authorized course, Digital Literacy for an AI-Enabled World, for implementation in the 2026-27 school year.
All right, so we have a recommendation. I'm looking for a mover. A second, oh, you moved, sorry, moved by, looking for a seconder. Trustee Tablotny. Thank you. All right, we'll do any questions regarding this particular motion or recommendation? We'll start down this end. Trustee Beliza, do you have any questions regarding this particular recommendation?
So far, none, Your Honor.
Yeah, well,
Chairman, I should say.
that's all right. We're doing good at time. We can always come back. So, Trustee Sargent.
Comment, not a question.
Okay. Trustee Yang.
Questions, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chairperson. Well, I just wanted to first of all thank the staff at Palmer who brought this forward and drafted this BAA course for our consideration, and so unfortunately we did run out of time during Education Committee to go into questions and to learn a little bit more about this good work. So I'll take this opportunity now. Just around student involvement and input on the creation of this BAA course. Was there a strong sense from students that, this is something that they like to take on, and, just their overall understanding or feeling towards the subject matter, which is AI, and the complexity of it and the ethics of it?
Senior staff.
Yep, I'm happy to respond. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So in terms of the new the BAW course, certainly these courses are inspired by teachers, often because there is student interest. As we know, many of our students are using this technology. And so some of the motivation around this course is to work with students to help them use this effectively and responsibly. I'll add also, as we develop new courses, student interests drive the direction of the course. So there is content there for your consideration. But of course, as the course starts to take shape, it is often influenced by the interest of the particular students who are enrolled.
Well, I'm certainly happy to hear that student input is a big piece, with anything that's close to, that makes an impact on them. I think the best we can do is to engage with them, hear what they have to say, and make their thoughts known. So I certainly appreciate that from staff. And then just one other question on, I guess, the compatibility of the course should other high schools take it up, because Palmer is a semester school. And so if other linear schools, linear high schools want to take up this opportunity and have instruction on this course, how would that work out?
If approved, the course is available at the district level. Should there be a teacher wishing to teach this course in another secondary school, so in the example of the linear school, that would be a scheduling difference in terms of how often students have the class, but it is a 4-credit course, whether it's linear or offered in the semester format.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Oh, trustee Larson, it's your motion, recommendation.
I just have a quick question. I can't remember, how many linear schools do we have right now? Just 2. Thank you.
All right. Trustee Wong, any questions?
Oh, thank you.
Trustee Tabali, any questions?
Well, Trustee Yang, did ask my question about, would it only be, so I guess in the beginning, it's only offered at Palmer. Is that correct? And developed by that teacher, but I'm certainly glad to see that the content would be shared and other schools could take it up, because I think it's going to be a very important course into the future. So this is just beginning.
Okay. I'm going to read the recommendation and then we're going to go back and people can give comments, and trustee Larson, you'll have the last word. All right. Recommendation that the Board of Education approve the newly developed board authority authorized course, Digital Literacy and AI Enabled World for implementation in the 2026-27 school year. Trustee Beliza, any comments or questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. My question is with regards to equity, whether this is open for everyone, and the tools for evaluation and assessment, and its purpose, especially for secondary studies. The safeguard, because there's a lot of information out there, and sometimes you don't know whether it's part of the trolling initiatives of some elements in our world communities. So the fact checking, the data privacy breach, any thought for that matter?
So to answer your first question in terms of whether this course is available to any student, it is a grade 11 course. It is for elective credits. So our graduating students take typically 28 credits of elective courses, and this would be 4 of those 28 credits. It is open to any student who has an interest in that course of a senior student. And then, of course, some of the challenges that you've referenced are some of the very reasons why the course has been developed.
All right, trustee Beliza, you're good? Are you okay? Okay. Trustee Sargent.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wanted to make a comment. I was at Education Committee and we ran out of time, but we still had a fairly good presentation. And I just want to say, listening over the years to the BAA courses that are developed takes a ton of work by 2 teachers that care about the topic. And even to put together the actual course is a lot of work on top of what they already do. So I just want to applaud the teachers for having the passion, the foresight, and for trying it in their school for the betterment of students. And it's not an easy thing to do, to put forward a BAA course. And, you know, it's rigor with the ministry as well and with us. And I appreciate the foresight and the work put by these two teachers. Thank you.
And trustee Yang.
Thanks very much. Yeah, so I will be supporting the recommendation. I think you know, this is not the first time the importance of AI and ethical use. This subject has certainly not the first time we've heard about this at Education Committee. I recall the first time I heard it was actually from a teacher librarian, and it was a library-based project on how to identify certain elements, limitations of AI, biases. This is so important to the work that we're doing, not only, you know, certainly societal level, of course, but in the education realm as well with, you know, governance frameworks. And so this is a good complement to what perhaps is lacking in our current curriculum to address some of these issues with AI. Certainly, it's going to be with us, but we need to make sure that it's used ethically. Staff's done professional due diligence on this, and the course plan speaks for itself, and with clear objectives and goals, and full confidence that they're going to deliver quality education with this BAA. And every time there's a BAA, you know, there's just a sense of excitement for myself. And so that's just a reflection of the diversity of pedagogical approaches that we have in this great district. So with that, I'll support the motion or the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Wong.
It's really good that put this on the EA. So you know now that the changing world is really fast, and then AI is popular too. So if our school district student have a opportunity and get the teacher go to just like teach that, so it's really good. Yeah.
Wonderful. Trustee Blondie.
Yeah, I definitely support the motion. You know, I strongly feel with all the concerns that we hear about AI and the potential for all kinds of, you know, sinister activities, the AI is a useful tool, and it's going to, I mean, it already is changing the way the world operates digitally, and we need, our young people need to be on top of it, and they need to understand it and the ethical use of it. So I'm absolutely in favor, and I hope this course takes off and is used by other students and taught in other schools across Richmond. I think it will be very valuable.
Thank you. Final word, Trustee Larson.
Yeah, what stood out for me that evening was the passion and excitement from I don't remember the one teacher's name, but it was yes, and of course, yes, Chris Lote. And the language that they were using when they just first explained it very generally was so it was rich, but it was also simplified so that anybody sitting there could sort of understand what they were talking about. And they used equity a lot, and just even integrity and things like that. And the thing is, not just our kids need to learn this; we need to learn this. It's new for everyone in the world, really. And so the opportunity to have our students introduced and have that opportunity to really learn critical thinking about this and how AI can be. Just as Debbie meant, or pardon me, Trustee Tabotli mentioned, such a tool. It was really exciting. It was a shame that we had to go as long as we did. We could have gone on for another hour, and it would have been incredibly interesting. But obviously, it doesn't work that way. So, yeah, I think it's a really wonderful plan that they've come up with.
Okay, so Trustee Larson has moved the recommendation that the Board of Education approve the newly developed board authority authorized course, Digital Literacy for an AI enabled world for the implementation in the 2026-27 school year. I'm going to call the question.
I just second for the recommendation, yeah.
We've already moved and seconded, right? Yeah. All right, can I call the question? All in favor? Opposed? A recommendation is carried. Trustee Larson, anything else you want to say about Education Committee?
Oh, just that our next date is, sorry, I went further down, is January, when is it,
14th.
January 14th? Yes, at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm the chair of the Facilities and Building Committee. Next meeting is December 3rd, 4:30. Finance and Legal, Trustee Sargent, you have some work here?
Yes, thank you very much. We do have a recommendation here before the board. I'll move the recommendation that the Board of Education, the board approve the 2026-27 annual budget process and timeline as presented in this report.
Okay, just gonna look for a seconder so we can, looking for a seconder. Trustee Larson, thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Sargent?
Yeah, I think the report explains all of it. We had a really good discussion with our partners as well, giving their input. I don't know, Secretary Treasurer, if you have anything to add.
Trustee Larson, I don't have anything to add.
It's Trustee Sargent, but that's fine. Sorry, Brett, making it light. No, it's very well that we are very proud of our budget process. And it involves our BOG, Budget Advisory Working Group. And we do a lot of work reaching out and making sure that we have input from everyone. So the timeline is before you. And of course, it's not written in stone if we go through things, because we will have a hard budget time coming up. So if we see that we can move it up, we will. And of course, if we have to extend, we will as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trustees, question period, and we're gonna start with Trustee Tablotny. If you have any questions? Okay, Trustee Wong? No. Good. Trustee Larson?
No, thank you.
Okay, well, Trustee Wang, yeah, good. Trustee Sargent, your recommendation, so Trustee Lisa?
None.
Okay, so the recommendation is that the Board of Education approve the 2026-27 annual budget process and timeline as presented in this report. I'm gonna call the question. Oh, well, you know what? You didn't get to say the last word.
Well, and there's comments maybe, I think.
Did we
I'm going to
do
go
the-
back around.
Oh, we didn't do the comments. Trustee Tablani, any comments about the motion?
I think as usual, we provided a good timeline for budget input and,
Okay.
as Trustee Sargent has mentioned, it will be difficult. And so input is welcomed and it will be, it will help us in our decision making. So.
Trustee Wong, any comments you want to make?
As I heard is that from the Secretary Treasurer, so I know that this year the provincial will get the funding is at least, so that we will move a little bit late for this compared with the last year. Okay.
Larson?
No, I think everything's been laid out and it looks really good.
Okay, Trustee Yang?
Yeah, I'll be supporting the recommendation. I think 2 budget cycles ago, we decided to do the process early, so to allow more time for staffing arrangements. But given the fiscal uncertainties, certainly last year we had to actually change our timeline midway. So it's prudent to give it more runway so we have more certainty from the province before we go into things like committee of the whole to consult with the public. I think that's certainly a big transparency piece that we want to bring forth as part of this process as always. Thanks.
Trustee Sargent, you get the last word, but Trustee Beliza, do you have any comments?
None except if if it's not seconded yet, I'll like to second it.
It was seconded. Yeah, it's been seconded. Okay, and Trustee Sargent, you're the
No
last
further
one.
comments. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna call the question. That the Board of Education approve the 2026-27 annual budget process and timeline as presented in this report. Now I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, recommendation is carried. Trustee Sargent, anything else from Finance and Legal?
No, thank you.
Policy Committee, we always have work here. Trustee Tablotny, give a recommendation.
Yeah, policy has a little bit of work and I want to take a little bit of a time to read through this so everybody understands it. The recommendation is that Policy Committee recommends to the board that revised policy 501.8R and 501.8G, student admission, registration, and placement and transfer be referred to the partner group review process for the period of November 20th to January 9th. And this policy has been vetted. It came as a report on September 15th to Policy Committee. And then again on the 14th with some revisions. November 10th, it went to the Public Policy Committee. And now it is moving forward with board approval, hopefully to go into the partner group review process from November 20th to January 9th, 2026. So just looking for a second.
Yes, we need a second there. Trustee Yang, second. All right. So,
I'm going to give some background on this. So under the School Act, the Board of Education does have the statutory authority and obligation to govern the affairs of the school district. And this includes the establishment of policies, and the board also may determine local policy for the effective and efficient operation of the schools in the district. And in addition, the Act provides boards of education specific responsibilities related to managing student enrollment and school capacity. And it also requires that each board establish for each school in its district a catchment area consisting of geographical area around the school, and also that a board may amend the catchment area established for a school, which was also raised by RTA President Baverstock. And it's the board's authority and duty to manage the enrollment school boundaries and the school facilities through the establishment of these policies. The regular review of board policies is essential to maintaining an effective governance framework. And as President Baverstock mentioned, you know, one of the revisions was 2003. We're always revising policy, but this one, you know, we need to review and ensure our policies governing enrollment, facilities planning, and resource allocation remain aligned with the board's legislative duties under the School Act, as well as with current enrollment and operation capacities. So, Section 3.1 of this policy, the regulations, provides that a student who lives in catchment, has been placed in a school, or has transferred into a school will have a guaranteed continuous registration in the school where he or she is currently attending. And as presently written, the issue is the policy offers an unqualified guarantee of continued registration and does not contemplate circumstances such as the opening of a new school or the closure of an old school. And this omission is limiting the board's ability to effectively manage the enrollment and school capacity in response to the structural or demographic changes within the district, i.e. opening of a new school. So we did have a review with our legal counsel, and it was advised that it's within our authority to undertake a policy review and revision of this policy and the companion guideline for the purpose of clarifying and placing it some reasonable limitations on the blanket guarantee of students, being able to continually attend their school. In consultation with the legal counsel, draft revisions of 501.8-R and 501.8G have been developed to address these scenarios, and the proposed revisions establish that when a school is closed or a new school is opened, and this was not in the previous policy, students enrolled in the closed school or students residing within the newly established catchment area of a new school may be required to register as Category 2 students. So the revisions provide the necessary policy basis for equitable enrollment management practices aligned with board statutory responsibilities under the School Act to manage the enrollment and ensure efficient use of district facilities and resources, i.e. opening a new school and having the students attend. So in the context of this new elementary school opening, which we're quite excited about, it's planned for September 2026. The proposed revision will strengthen the board's ability to balance the enrollment across schools because we have schools that are overflowing and align the policy with the board's broader goals of responsible, long-range facilities planning and equitable access to educational programs, which are laid out in our long-range facility plans. So I bring forward this recommendation to the board.
All right, I'm looking for a seconder. Trustee Yang, a second. Okay, so trustee DeBlanc, you've had a chance to talk first.
It's a chance to talk, so.
And so now we're going to do questions and we'll start at this end here. Trustee Belize, do you have any questions for trustee DeBlanc?
Motion.
Pardon?
I support the motion.
Oh, okay, well, we're just hang on to that thought. Any other
No
questions?
question, a comment.
Trustee Yang? Comments, questions?
Comment.
Alice or trustee Wong, any questions?
To clarify, which day is the final approval for this policy?
This is not the final approval. This is the approval to
Oh,
go.
I just want to know. So your timeline on this.
The timeline is
Yeah.
here for the period of November 20th, 25. Today to January 9th.
My question is that the
2026.
final board approval for this revised policy, when?
The January 21st board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're going to do final comments. I'll start down this end. Trustee Belize, any comments on this recommendation? Trustee Sargent?
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate all the work that's been done on part of the policy, and I still have many questions and concerns. So at this time, I cannot support this recommendation.
Trustee Yang, any comments?
Yes, I will support the recommendation, and just going back to the merits of this motion, it's asking us to go and send this piece of draft policy change to the partner group review process. And I think it's always important to consult our partner groups and the general public on matters like this. It's outlined in our policy, it's clear, so I will look forward to how the consultation will go. Thanks.
Trustee Larson?
I will be
Comments?
supporting this as well, and I'm most impressed with the fact that we do involve our partner groups and our public, and it's so important. But at the same time, we want feedback, but I think we have to do this because in all honesty, we have to update our old policy from 2003, and things change. We can't always have things that remain the same. So we have to be really careful with our language and update, and we can't make promises that will last for 20 years when the city changes and schools are being built or they're being, taken down or whatever's happening. And so I think it's just, I think this is a good policy. I think it's been very thoughtfully put together and a lot of work has gone into it. And I think it's honest. It's saying these things happen and we have to open a new school, which we've talked about for many, many, many years, and schools are overflowing. So some of those things are going to be tough for some people for sure. But at the same time, I think it would be irresponsible not to do it. So I'm fully in favor of this. Thank you.
Trustee Wong, any comments?
Support this recommendation.
Okay.
Because, you know, now we have a new school and closed school. We need to do, our board need to make sure everything goes smoothly, work for the parent or student and for the company. Thank you.
Trustee Wong, final word?
Yeah, well, this policy has taken a lot of vetting, and as I mentioned, it's also received legal advice. You know, we took this very seriously as we've taken the whole catchment process and all our consultation with opening a new school. And you know, when some of these policies were developed a long time ago, they weren't taking into consideration some of the scenarios that might crop up. And so I think this is open and transparent. It's going out for review. It will come back to the board and with possible suggestions for revision. And this is kind of a normal process, but this is a big policy and an important policy, and it's something that we need to do and be clearly transparent about, and that's what we're doing. So.
Thank you. I'm going to read the recommendation that the policy committee recommends to the Board of Education that revised policy 501.8-R/501.8-G student admission, registration, placement, and transfer be referred to partner group review process for the period of November 20th, 2025 to January 9th, 2026. I'm going to call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Get that? Thank you very much. Trustee Tablani, anything else regarding policy committee?
Just there's minutes of a meeting held October 14th that are attached. Sorry for information. Meeting was held on Monday, November 10th. And those meetings are to come, minutes are to come, and the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, January 12th at 11.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to our board committee and representative reports. Council Board Liaison Committee was held Wednesday, November 5th. Anything report back? Significant you want to report back?
Yes. Thank you. The minutes will be coming and it'll have more details, but I did want to highlight the city's Traffic Safety Advisory Committee. Their report was extensive around what they're doing around our schools to try and keep things safe. And what they've done with ICBC is develop a brochure, basic handout that principals can use. And it's really good. They're going to be sending over some for all of us to have a look at. And our staff have been part of writing the brochure, which will be handed out to drivers, whomever the school chooses. But it's really, really good. And it talks about how to keep traffic safety around our schools safe. So I was very thankful that they had developed such a handout, and police officers, bylaw officers can use it as well. So that was nice to see. Thank you.
All right, BCSTA, our rep. Who's our BCS? Alice?
They say at the in camera already, so I don't have any public.
Okay, that's fine. BCPC.
Yes, so BCPC, Trustee Sargent and I attended BCPC symposium a few weeks ago, and it was excellent information, all things bargaining and also AI and the use of AI, and some of those workshops will be shared with trustees. They were recorded, which I'm really thankful for, because we were thinking that, you know, it would be very good for trustees to all be there. And there is a BCPC annual general meeting scheduled for January 29th, and I will be attending, and I can Trustee Sargent will attend as well as she's on board, so she needs to be there. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you. We have correspondence for action, nothing, and we did, for information, we got a board of advocacy letter to the mayor and councils for the city of Richmond on school traffic safety dated October 28th. Response letter from the mayor on school traffic safety dated November 5th. I believe Trustee Sargent's comments. Or this, Trustee Yang, is there a comment you'll make?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the response from the mayor of Richmond on the issue. And it's simply to acknowledge our views and to send this to staff. I think Richmond residents deserve a little more than brochures at you know, in front of schools, because you know, there are very serious problems, and so this board has taken the position that more action needs to be done. And so I would also encourage you know, community members, if you are also feeling the same way, to write to your mayor and councilors. And also, as part of this the motion that was passed in September, we have asked district staff to look to further enhancements in our school properties, and so I will be looking forward to that. Thank you.
All right, folks, come to the end of the night. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder to adjourn. Trustee Wong and Trustee Larson, thank you. All in favor? But trustees, I am going to ask you to stick around after for a quick trustee chat.
No.
Like 10 or 15 minutes. And everyone else, thank you for coming out tonight. Just stick